Greetings everyone, and today we are going to discuss about Aschelminthes, the phylum Aschelminthes. So previously we discussed about the platyhelminths, and Aschelminthes are basically also known as roundworms, and other name is nematodes. The name Aschelminthes was given by Grobin, and then they were named as nemathelminths by Gegenberg. Apart from that, they are commonly known as threadworm or roundworm, although the threadworm or roundworm is one of their species. Apart from which, they are organisms which are parasitic mostly. Most of them are parasitic, but they can be free living as well as they can live in seawater. They can live in fresh water. Apart from which, they are quite diverse in terms of having different nutritions. For instance, some of them are free living, some of them are scavengers, some of them are predators, some of them are parasitic, while most of them are parasitic instead. Apart from which, few of them are free living. They are cylindrical. These are cylindrical with two pointed ends, as you can see the diagram as well. Cylindrical with two pointed ends, as well as they are elongated, which can range from being microscopic to as long as 1 meter, while most of the Aschelminths are found less than 5 centimeter long. Apart from this, they are slender, worm-like, and tappers are at both ends. Body is kind of unsegmented. The body is unsegmented. Apart from which, there is internal cephalization present, but externally there is little differentiation between the anterior and posterior regions. Now, when it comes to the evolutionary point of view, we have got some key that here it is basically having longitudinal muscles. It is having longitudinal muscles, transverse muscles are absent. Longitudinal muscles which help in contraction and relaxation. They cause contraction and relaxation, due to which it causes to move the produce a hydrostatic pressure inside the body. As hydrostatic pressure is produced, fluid pressure is produced, the body starts to move by a thrashing motion, and that thrashing motion is produced by the longitudinal muscles. Apart from which, when it comes to its digestive system, it is having a tube-like digestive system, which means it is having mouth and anus, two different openings, as well as its digestive system is complete. When it comes to its body cavity, it's a pseudocoelomate, it's pseudocoelomate, as well as a bilateria, triploblastic bilateria. Apart from which, that is having its digestive system as to be having a particular tract, particular alimentary canal, but that alimentary canal is not lined with the mesoderm. Apart from which, thirdly, they are also having the characteristic of having a simple brain, that their nervous system consists of a simple brain made up of a ring of ganglia and nerve tissues, which is present around the pharynx, as you can see the diagram, which is present around the pharynx. Apart from which, this brain is connected with two longitudinal nerve cords, as it was present in platyhelminths, two longitudinal nerve cords which are interconnected with each other through the transverse nerves. Apart from which, they are having a ventral nerve cord, dorsal nerve cord, and body covering is present, cuticle, gut is there, and there are no sex organs, which means the sex organs are not quite developed. No sex organs, which means reproductive organs are not there. Apart from which, excretory organs are uh, flame cells with also known as protonephridia or solenocytes, and flame cells, protonephridia, solenocytes, which are connected with lateral canals, through which the excretory product comes into the flame cells, and from the flame cells these are taken outside of the body through excretory pores known as nephridiopores. Similarly, we are having the fact that it is not having a respiratory system, transport system, circulatory system, as well as It is having no transpiratory circulatory system, no respiratory system, apart from which it can reproduce sexually. It can reproduce sexually by uh, fertilization of male and female gametes, and usually they are dioecious. Dioecious. They're dioecious, and they're dioecious, which means they have two different sexes. They are hermaphrodites, or dioecious having two different sexes, male and female. And apart from that, they have an internal fertilization. They have internal fertilization, cross fertilization, and despite that, they are having their development. The development of their offspring is direct as well as indirect. Direct means that their offspring resembles with their adult, and indirect means that the offspring doesn't resemble with the adult. So both conditions are possible depending on the variety of the Aschelminthes. Rest, when it comes to some examples of them, we are having roundworms having Ascaris, roundworms, Ascaris, lumbricoid, Ascaris lumbricoid. Apart from which, when it comes to the second organism, we can take the example of hookworm. Hookworm is a parasite, endoparasite, which causes infection in children. Uh, so hookworm, having its scientific name is Ankylostoma. Ankylostoma is its scientific name. Apart from which, when it comes to hookworms, roundworms, Ankylostoma hookworms, and then there is filiary, filiar worms. These filiar worms are having examples of filiar worms are having scientific name is fish braria. Apart from which, when it comes to another example, we can take example of Eutemabis. Roundworms, Ascaris lubricoid, causes intestinal infection, being parasite, whereas with Eumetabis vermicularis, is another roundworm, Aschelminth, which causes Eumet- Eumetabis vermicularis. Eumetabis vermicularis is another roundworm. Eumetabis vermicularis is another roundworm which causes the movement Eumetabis vermicularis. Eumetabis vermicularis, which causes infection in colon, ceca, and appendix, and leads to insomnia and loss of appetite. Rest, when it comes to some general characteristics, these are abundant. These are the most abundant animals, which means these are most abundant animals. 80% of the population of animals on Earth is Aschelminths, while for every human on Earth, there are 60 billion Aschelminths or worms present. So this is a ratio as well. When it comes to the economic importance, they are utilized in agriculture. They are important from agricultural perspective because in agriculture they are utilized for killing the agricultural pests that damage the crop. So in that case, they are also beneficial. That's all about this video. Hopefully, we'll meet again.